D tier Barbarian, S tier Cleric, D tier Rogue, S tier Mage, A tier,
Titties,
S tier.
S tier titties.
That's the tier list.
Are we done? Video's over?
Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's start off with Cleric. All right.
I mean, Cleric's got to be a solid S tier. He's part of like every comp, at least.
He's literally part of every comp. If you have him on your comp, you pretty much win, right? Usually,
he's a necessity.
It's a necessity.
Yeah,
it's a necessity.
Pretty S tier.
Because it's the only form of skill or spell healing, right?
Yep.
The only other class that you could probably do a build like a heal build like that would be like fighter, because you can have like their ability, the 3 fighters,
Yeah,
and they can all use it to stay alive. I mean, they can't have it all the time, so that's why Cleric's way better for that. But just
Cleric's
having
amazing.
that heal.
Yeah, he has heals,
Yeah,
he has damage buffs, he has protection. He's damn good. And I've heard that people can solo just perfectly with him. You can just buff yourself up, drink L, gain 11 strength, run in and just kill people. Cleric's S tier. I think it's probably it's top 3 classes. If not like
Cleric's top 3 class in the game right now. Like
easily.
Hands down. Cleric's top 3 class.
Yeah.
Next would be fighter. Augie is a fighter main. But you don't think it's
I mean, fighter's not top 3. It's the 4th. You know what I mean? In this playtest, it's the 4th.
Yeah.
It's better than Ranger.
I would agree.
And it's better than Rogue. It's not as good at killing as Barbarian.
Right.
And then it's just nowhere near as useful as a Wizard or Cleric. You know what I mean?
I would think it's around
skill
I
stealing.
would say I would say A just because you can do, like I was saying earlier, you could do like a solo or trio build of just fighters. Right. So he's self-preserving.
Yep.
But he's just not like the Wizard or Barbarian like damage output consistency. So
and he has like 2 of the best abilities in the game. He has the sprint and his own heal.
The sprint.
Literally sprint
the sprint and the heal are very good.
You heal yourself. Heal's got to be like best ability in the game.
Yeah, that's why they nerfed it. That's why it takes 12 seconds to heal you.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's not as good.
And it's hard to use now.
It's still really good.
It's a very out of combat spell now, or a skill.
It's
now,
more
you know
you just
mean?
pop it at the beginning of a fight to save yourself.
They also have taunt. And people across the game are sleeping on taunt. There's like 10 people using taunt right now, dude. Taunt's so good. If you have a dedicated cleric and you use taunt and you have the barricade perk and you're getting plus 30% physical mitigation by just blocking and having taunt lasts for 8 seconds, has an 18-second cooldown. So it's technically a 10-second cooldown.
It's like 15% damage reduction, right?
Exactly. Yep. 15% physical damage reduction. Just flat 15%. Added as a bonus. And if you have barricade where you're holding a shield up or the spear or the longsword in the block position, another 15% right there. So it's actually really good.
And he's another consistent like character or consistent played character out of all of them too, alongside Cleric, I would say.
People might disagree because he's not on the leaderboard. But
yeah,
he's not really up there on the leaderboards, but he's still a great class. I think it's just he gets outshined, really.
I feel like it's the balance point. I feel like it's probably the best balanced class in the game still.
Yeah.
It has been, wasn't the last one.
Right. But that's like what he's good at, is that balance, is like even out of everything. And he's doing his role perfectly. I mean, he's not going to get on the leaderboards because of Barbarian and Wizard being absolutely damage dealing, you know.
Monster,
and then Cleric and Rogue and even Ranger can get away easily, way easier than Fighter can in a lot of cases, just because they're slower. Fighter's slower than the other classes. So
Rogue Rangers can run away.
Right, but
anyway, enough about Fighter. Barbarian, do you want to take this one, Nightshine, because you are a Barbarian main? Because this class is pretty strong.
Well, I mean,
right now,
people would hate me if I said he wasn't S tier.
There's a huge controversy around this character right now, saying it's the strongest in the game.
I would say it's gonna be. I think he's definitely S tier because, for one reason, he is also probably the 3rd one that's part of all the comps. Like that little trilogy of characters right there. That will be
amazing
in most
comps if you run these 3.
Yeah. Yep. You got the damage, you've got the tankiness / also can play Ranger, and then your healer. Like that's, I mean, that's the best team you can get. And Barbarian's weapons right now are just insane. I mean, Felling Axe and Quarterstaff. I mean, I have probably 200, 300, 400 kills with just Quarterstaff. So
Quarterstaff is
I mean,
awesome.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
It is
And
I don't see
disgusting
it being
right now.
running in High Roller near as much. I think the Felling Axe is just better. You don't get as much move
Felling
speed,
Axe,
but
one
it's better
shot.
at killing.
The Felling Axe you can get up to like 240 damage or something with a Felling Axe.
Yeah, it's because
With a
of all that
headshot.
all
Some crazy.
attributes.
Yeah.
All attributes are insane, but like Felling Axe very good for PvP, but Quarterstaff's really good for getting away the runners. You know,
Yeah.
like the speed get away. So that's good. It's just the damage output. You shouldn't be able to even 4-shot with that weapon because I mean it's fast. You shouldn't be
It's
able
so
to
fast.
4-shot when it takes other
Yeah.
weapons. You
Like
know,
rogues
It
don't stand
has-
a chance. They have
shots,
so
Yep.
much speed with the
Yeah.
Quarterstaff. Rogues stand 0 chance. Like they just died to Barbarian every
Right.
time.
You just run
can't
rogues down,
dodge, you
and
can't-
even like the
run.
equivalent in damage is the longsword, right? And it's got 4 times the move speed of the longsword.
Yeah. Quarterstaff needs a
Rogues, no
more movement
chance.
penalty for sure. Because a rogue has a dagger, a tiny little dagger that minuses its move speed by the exact same as a Quarterstaff. Which is kind
Isn't
of
that funny, man? It's ridiculous.
They're both -10. Quarterstaff needs to be -15 or -20, I feel like. And that would help the Barbarian class not be as strong. But
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah, the
think
move
that's a
speed's
very
very good.
solid. I think that's a very solid place for him as of right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
He did get a recent nerf.
It's definitely
but
yes.
It's not enough.
He might not be.
The nerf did
Barbarians.
hurt him.
Cleric's better than Barbarians, though. Like in overall usefulness to the game and
Yeah.
the team count, for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Cleric's probably the best
Agreed.
class in the game.
it really
Like
is.
Maybe
Barbarian's good
Oops.
because of his support.
Yeah,
right.
because you run around with a cleric and a wizard. So
Yeah, you like Cleric and Fighter could play solo and actually live way better. Like if it was just
Yeah.
a 1v1, you know, like battle royale type of world and not 3v3s, you know, like the Goblin, the solo dungeon. You're gonna have a way easier time surviving with characters that have heals than a character that has no heals.
No. And your
And his
heals
only
take
speed,
so long to get you up as a Barbarian.
right? Yeah, you need a lot of potions, and bandages take like twice as long. And
Yeah.
if you want to catch up to someone because your speed's so slow, you have to take more damage with that of
Yep.
his where he roars.
And the roar did
So
get
you have to
nerfed by
roll.
a second as well. So it's only 3 seconds now, which is not very long.
Right. So he's not.
yeah, technically,
solo.
people sleep on that. Like that's a 25% nerf. Technically, like that's
a quarter.
pretty
Cuts it
big.
by a quarter.
25% nerfing anything in any game is
Yeah.
normally pretty substantial.
Any less than
It's-
3
it was
seconds, it'd be
hard.
useless.
It was
Yeah,
already hard enough to get a swing sometimes because I mean if they're backing up and you just roar, or if they have a shield that can block one hit and then you know anything like that, your ability is completely useless at that
Shields
point.
are good against Barbarians.
And you still can't catch up to fast characters now that you know even less. You have less time to catch up to faster characters.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a significant nerf.
it's a good change. It's a good
Right.
change here at the end of the test.
I just hope they kind of try to balance the weapons more than nerfing the
More
barbarian.
than the Barbarian
even more.
himself. Yeah, it's mainly
Because-
the
Yeah,
weapons.
I mean the dev what's his name, SDF, I don't know his actual in real life name, but in all the Q&As he does, he always talks about how the balance is really off right now, right? They're just
Right.
everything's put in and they're testing the usability and functionality of, you know, combat and the dungeons, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll see a lot of change probably
And I'm
when
sure
the game
by
either hits beta or drops for real.
the early access, this list is probably going to be completely different.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it wasn't like this last playtest,
No.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Barbarian was here.
He's
Barbarian wasn't very good, man.
Barbarian wasn't very good.
Yeah. He
But-
skyrocketed. That's crazy.
Yep.
All right, Ranger. Ranger, I think, has like one of the best starts. Like range in the game is just very good. He has speed, he has range, he has his own hill. As we talked about, hills are just amazing. Having your own hill is
he's got the
so
best
good.
the best DPS ability in the game.
Yeah,
For
Yeah,
at least
his-
physical
his-
damage.
His triple shot is crazy.
Yep.
If you hit all those shots, and especially any headshots, you're draining someone down.
Yep.
it's so hard to say if he's S or A tier, but he's
Yeah.
definitely
He's at
very
least A.
impactful in a fight.
I mean, honestly, go on. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
He's very impactful because like the only other class I think that could do as much damage as he can in that short of time is the wizard. But if
Right.
they 1v1, wizard still has to take time to charge up, while the ranger can just spam 3 arrows out. And with those 3 arrows as a wizard myself, I've been clapped like instantly.
Yep.
Like I have no.
Yeah,
'cause
Mage
they're
has no
slow.
fucking health.
It's that slow effect that makes
Yep.
rangers so good. If they
Shouldn't get
had
slowed every arrow.
something, Yeah, every arrow slowing you, you're stuck there. You're almost just immobile the entire
Mhm.
time, and that alone is so powerful against anything. And like Barbarian, like I said, without support, he would struggle so much against Rangers. Like
Yep.
the wizard speed that they
You wouldn't be able to
nerfed.
catch up
You,
at all.
you throw the wizard speed on a Barbarian, he'll catch up to a Ranger and kill them instantly. But the
Yeah.
more they nerf Barbarian's ability and the wizard's ability, now Barbarian's going to be able to travel not so far to try to catch a
Mhm.
Ranger that can spam arrows.
Yep.
Now,
And if you have good aim as a ranger, you just maybe even S tier if you're that a good enough ranger with a good enough aim and hitting every shot. I would say he's pretty S tier.
yeah,
Like he's in between these
definitely.
two tiers for sure. Depending on the
He's
player,
got a
he's here and there. But
higher skill gap,
PVE, he's
definitely.
really bad. Higher skill gap for sure, especially than the mage. PVE wise, he's pretty bad. But really, you just need to pull out a rapier and then you're good.
Yeah.
But he's between these two. I don't know. Would you solidify him as A or S?
I mean,
I mean, he's
honestly, I feel like the fighter might be better than the ranger in a lot of situations,
yeah,
right?
because
Definitely.
he can use longbows now too.
You can use longbows. The 10% damage loss on the weapon master perk is a lot more bearable, right? And even without that, the base crossbow that the fighter can use can go up to like 58 damage on a blue, like big
Yeah.
damage. You can one tap some rangers probably when you get to the purple crossbows and stuff like that.
Yep.
You
Get
know,
a
even with
headshot.
them geared up.
Right.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
I would
fighter.
agree.
as a
Yeah, A tier.
as a dedicated range character, I don't think the fighter's better, but overall, fighter is probably more useful than a ranger.
He is. Yeah.
Definitely. He has a heal too,
Yeah.
same with the Ranger. They have both
Yep.
have heals, but fighter's tankier. Fighter can
Yep.
live a little
You
longer
And he
and
can
has
fight up
more
close.
weapons.
the sprint to close the gap. You just make sure you got throwing axes. I just told you guys. You come across a ranger, you need to kill him. You don't try and fight him like that. You pop sprint, take a throwing axe out, and
Just start-
zigzag until you get in range and just chunk him with throwing axes so he can't run away.
Right.
And it works so good.
Yeah, throwing axe is OP.
Yep, I like that. That's a good spot.
Let's do the mage now. There's a lot of controversy. People
I
think the
mean,
mage is weak. They think he's weak. I think they're just bad because, in my opinion, mage is S tier. Like mage is so good, even after the
Mage
nerfs.
is so good.
yeah, definitely. If you make the spells you use, you make the right amount, like the right selection, you can definitely change a whole fight.
Yeah, I've seen some
Alright.
crazy wizard videos on YouTube going around. Them just like they ignite, they go invis, they haste, and then they just do the same thing that a rogue can do, but better. They literally just
Yep.
run faster than a rogue. They go invis like a rogue, but they ignite their dagger, and the dagger is the same thing, and it just destroys people. And then you of course have insane range, fireballs, and things like that. Mage is honestly better than Barb. I think
Yeah,
Cleric
for
might
sure.
still be better.
Definitely.
I'm not sure. These two classes
Sure.
are definitely fighting for top in the game right now.
Yeah,
PVE,
even after all the nerfs.
Yeah.
Yeah, even after all the nerfs, the wizard's still very good.
nerfs.
I think some of the nerfs they could have, instead of just reducing the base time, like on the haste, the last haste nerf, I feel like they should have reduced the amount of duration on haste when cast on other players, right?
Yeah, so it didn't nerf
Self
the mage
cast, it could have
themselves.
be a little longer, and then buffing other players nerf it or something, reduce the time. I feel like would have been a better
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yep, because they're
The
trying to
change
nerf
they
Barbarian
made,
by doing that, but then you just
yeah,
nerfing the
exactly.
Wizard as well,
Mhm.
and hurting the
Which
Wizard
when you
even
put
more.
too many nerfs on the wizard, obviously the skill ceiling is super important with the wizard,
Mhm.
but you can cast pretty quick with just a green spell book.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And a crystal
it's
ball, you
insane.
cast fast as hell.
yeah,
You just fireball,
crystal ball,
fireball.
dagger.
So
And it hurts.
It
With
hurts.
a
There's
fully
the-
leveled out wizard with like good
Yeah.
items and good perks, I
Mhm.
mean, you could just
You're one-shotting
destroy
rogues.
everything.
You're literally
It's
one-shotting
got
rogues with the
it's
Yeah.
got insane DPS.
damage
I've-
over
I've-
time as well is so good.
Because when I play, I run the fire. I try to use fire builds, so I do more damage or whatever when I hit them with a fireball. I'll hit a
And
rogue
longer damage over
directly and they're
time.
dead.
Yep.
If I hit them directly, they're dead, and it's not
Yep.
hard to hit it, really.
No, and it has
It's a
AOE.
huge AOE. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And the fireball itself may not kill the rogue, but the fire damage over time afterwards is probably going to kill the rogue.
Yeah,
Rogues are just so
definitely.
squishy.
Yep, and
But-
mages, and then it should be rogues countering mages, not mages
Yeah.
completely dominating rogues.
Mages just do the better that the rogue can do. They go invis. They can use daggers. All that.
Yep.
Mage is amazing. Great place. But that brings us to the rogue, which I believe is probably the worst class in the game right now.
I don't
I
even
would,
think it's
I
B tier
would,
right now.
I don't know, B
I think
tier.
it's worse than that.
He's super squishy. He gets two shot by pretty much anything in the game. He's
Yeah.
super squishy. He doesn't honestly do a lot of damage. He has good damage over time. His poison and bleed is good, but you can never ever fight head on with anyone really, other than a barbarian with a slower weapon. Felling axe barbarian's going to destroy rogue. Quarterstaff barbarian's going to destroy rogue, but you can still, if you get hit once, you're dead as a rogue. You can't make any misplays. The only way to play rogue right now is to go invis in a corner and stab someone in the back when they come past you. Like,
Only.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't
Like,
have a comp. Like that's
yeah,
another issue.
there's
Like
no way to play comp with him. Yeah, you're right.
all the
Unfortunately.
other 5 classes all have, like a comp they can do. If
Mhm.
it's, cleric and a fighter and a barbarian, or a wizard, barbarian fighter, to a ranger and a fighter combo. Like every class
Yeah,
has something, but rogue just doesn't work with anything.
he doesn't fit into comps. He really doesn't. It's harder
No,
to
he
I
fit him
doesn't.
definitely
in.
think that every single other melee class fits better than a rogue right now
Yeah.
in every composition.
I don't know how they would balance him out either. We saw him at top of the
Yeah,
game one time, but now he just dropped drastically.
Yeah.
pretty bad. And I feel like they didn't change much about him. They just changed things around him, right?
Yep.
They made other classes better. I feel like a good step would be letting him sprint or run for half of his steps, right? Increase the steps from
But he's
11
invisible.
walking to 12, and then give him 6 that he can run with. That little bit of repositioning can really make a big difference in the fights that,
Yeah.
rogues end up getting stuffed into.
Yeah, because that
It would be-
invisibility rogue really, really needs, like, especially mid fight. The best way to outplay, the only way to outplay as a rogue, is you can't face trade, is to go invis in the middle of a fight, move around, and then try to catch them by surprise. But you can't really move around much at all with only 10 steps of slow walking when you go invis. And then
Yeah, I think
people just spam attacks and get you out of the invis.
Yep.
I think that would be a good buff, I think, for rogue, is more invisibility so they can travel
Yeah.
further.
Yep.
Because
I
that
think so
is
too.
their whole thing,
Yep.
is being an assassin, and if they only can move 10 steps, well, if the other players see you in a room, they know you're in there as the rogue. So they'll look
Yep.
around, and if they see an empty corner, they're gonna shoot at it.
Shoot it,
Because
hit
where
it.
else are you gonna go?
Yep.
You have
You can't
nowhere
move
else.
very far
So
at all.
you should be able to
Yep.
go invisible, and you should be able to pretty much walk past them without them knowing. Unless for some reason, bodies touch, then obviously they'll know you're there, 'cause their
Mm,
player model gets stuck. Which, I mean,
yeah.
that's a gamble with the rogue, but that's how it should be. You should have way longer
Yep.
invisibility
And it would be a
than
good
any
way
other
rather
class.
than like flat damage buffs or anything like that. It adds a skill ceiling. It adds skill expression. To manipulate your character and your positioning with your invisibility becomes
Right.
something that not everyone can do.
Yep.
Right.
Right now, you can't really outplay that much. Like we said, you go invis, they just start swinging up the air, and you can't go very far, so they know you're there. And it's, in the end, pretty useless.
The only way
Yep.
they win is if they catch you off guard, and they have to stab you a lot
Yep.
to just take you down. Like barbarian, I mean, you can juke them, but like you said earlier, felling axe or anything, you're just gonna lose. You have no chance as a rogue. No,
Yeah.
because they're just too tanky. Barbarians
You
too
get one
tanky.
shot, two shot.
Clerics will tank through it. They'll have most likely a shield with them. They'll just
Mm-hmm.
block it, and fighter can block it and also tank it. It's
Only class rogue
Yep.
isn't struggling against is ranger.
yep.
Because you
But that's because it
can,
takes so long.
yeah,
for
you're
them to shoot.
fast, and you can dodge arrows pretty good if you're good at dodging arrows.
But they go fight a mage, they go get one shot.
Yeah, mage will just fireball you, and you're done. That's all you got.
Yep.
They run as fast. They actually run faster with haste than a rogue, and they can just run away from you and then fireball you, and you're dead. Rogue really is just right now, and stated is you solo play, hide, don't fight, run away. That's just what it is.
Yep. Rinse and repeat.
Mhm.
Definitely not the best it's ever been.
No, I don't even know if it would.
So
I'd say it's B. I don't want to put it at C because it's not horrible.
It's still usable.
It's
He
usable.
still kills.
yeah, I mean people are
other
still
things.
killing with it. So
Yeah,
I
just
mean, I've
worse than the
died
other
plenty
classes.
of times. I've died many times as barbarian to them still, but in a lot of cases,
Yeah.
I win.
Yeah, but if you have I could see rogue beating a barbarian if they have a slower, like a double axe or battle axe, the slower ones that you can actually dodge and maneuver around. A good
Yeah.
rogue will definitely beat a barbarian if they have one of those weapons. But if they have felling axe or even quarterstaff, which is even better, you lose every time as a rogue with the quarterstaff.
Yeah, the quarterstaff
especially.
is just something else.
Like barbarian, if he roars and has quarterstaff out, he's as fast as a rogue, maybe even faster.
Yep. Yep. And even if a rogue were to try to fight a barbarian, if they have a cleric, I
Yep.
mean, you just
Oh,
lose.
it's over. It's over.
No matter what, if it's a rogue cleric versus a barbarian cleric, the barbarian's gonna win every time. Because rogue is just not, he cannot compete against that at all.
Yep.
There's
And
just,
one misplay, and you can get headshot and insta killed or two shot as a rogue.
Yep. All
can't
depending on
misplay
the
at all.
gear. You can just one shot, two shot a rogue, no matter what.
Yep. Like his armor means nothing as a rogue. I've worn purple as a rogue and still got two shot no matter what. Rogue's weapons are really the only thing that matters on him, I feel like, right now. I think that's it.
Yep. I think that looks good.
Yep. We'll see how this changes between now and the next playtest. But that's going to be it for this tier list. Let me know y'all's opinion down in the comments below. I'm sure there's a lot of controversy around this. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let us know down below. We can talk about it and discuss it even further in the comment section. That is it. Good luck out in the dungeon. Hope to catch you in the next one, and peace out.